Most marketing advice you find online lately talks about spectacular numbers. And the way you should do it is explosive but also very rigid. Marketing gurus usually talk in a way that's weird, saying things like, if you don't do this marketing trick, pal, what are you even doing? And I bet you know what I'm talking about. But growing a business and improving marketing, it is much more nuanced than that. I bet that you already tried a lot and very little worked in your journey. And I bet that you asked yourself why at least once. But I bet that you're also scared of the answer because what if it's really you? What if you just suck at marketing? So you try to fake it until you make it, but you are an introvert and you don't value that. You don't want to fake it. You just want a business that works. And you know you have the skills, you know you have the idea, but why is it not working? Well, the reason that your marketing sucks, it's likely not because you're quiet or because the algorithm hates you, but because you're likely making one of these mistakes. Fair warning, if you are a touchy person, this might actually sting. But I warned you, so if you want, keep listening and let's see if you relate to one of these. And they are all a little bit interconnected. So I encourage you to stay until the end of the video so you can have a big picture. Because you might not just do one, but you might do multiple of them, or maybe even a fraction of all of them, even if it's like a very small portion of it. So you create your own very toolkit for self-sabotage. But let's start with number one, and it's that you are too afraid of failing. You've been sitting on that newsletter, that new ad idea, or that product launch for weeks, maybe months, because it's still not quite ready. And you're just afraid to waste all this money, time, energy into something that might not work. But hey, there is no magic formula. There is no magic spell that we get everybody to buy from you. In marketing, perfectionism is just a fancy label for procrastination. I feel like Joe Ralphio here. But if you're afraid, because if you put something out there and it's failing, it means that your business is a failure and therefore you are a failure. Well, it's not. You should think of marketing like a science lab. Everything you're doing is a little bit of an experiment, not a performance piece. You need data to grow. Hello? You need numbers. You need to understand. And I'm sorry to say this, but in marketing, one very good way of gathering good raw data is just by trial and error. Because you cannot get your data from your Google sheet that's stuck in your drive. So if you see yourself in this, what you need to do is just get out of your head, get out of your room, get out of your drive, bring out that idea, try it. And if it fails, you just got data. Okay, so this is one of the things that I gave the fair warning for. Because the second mistake is the genius delusion, meaning that for some reason, some people don't have enough self-criticism. I mean, I get it, it's not easy. You wake up in the middle of the night with this great idea. Oh my god, that's so good. It's gonna win everything. Then you launch it and nothing again. But wait, Kiara, this is a good approach. You just said that I need to put myself out there. Yes, this is not the problem. The problem comes after. People struggle because instead of looking at the idea critically and understand what they did wrong so that they can get the raw data that we just talked about, they actually make up excuses. They blame the date, the time they posted maybe, or the period in the year, the economy, the low quality leads, whatever makes more sense in their head. But if your plan didn't work, it's because something didn't work. And very likely it's the idea that did not resonate. So you have to stop falling in love with your own thoughts. A great founder is a professional skepticism of their own ideas. And if the data says no, just listen to the data. Third one might seem counterintuitive, so bear with me. I think one of the mistakes that people make is that they do not steal enough. I said it, bear with me. Most founders have too much pride. You want your ideas to be 100% originally from your super fantastic brain and brilliance. But like any other creative work, marketing is often a little bit of a remix. You must be like Lupin the Third, a gentleman thief. If you see an ad that stopped you, if you see a newsletter that you actually read until the end, analyze it. Why did it work for you? Was it the hook? Was it the content? Was it that it was genuinely vulnerable? Was it that it was relatable? What was it? Think about it. Dissect it and analyze it. Being smart in marketing means that you are able to actually see and take the triggers that work while leaving out the fluff that don't serve you. And you don't need to reinvent everything all the time. You don't need to reinvent your brain. You just need to be observant enough just to see what's actually already working so that you can rebuild it, remix it, and adapt it to your own voice and brand. On the other hand, sometimes stealing, if not done properly, can be another one of the mistakes. What Chiara didn't just say? Yes, I know. Just here. Listen, the biggest mistake is just copying one to one. Like, you see something from a competitor that works super well, you just take it and you make it yours. As is, exactly as they published, exactly as they created, exactly as they hosted the event. Like, you just copy the format, boom, make it yours. This actually rarely works. But why? Because your brand is and should be different. If you follow someone else one to one exactly, you will always be the second one. You will always be just chasing. You will just be the less interesting version of the original. You need to adapt marketing to you, to your brand, not the other way around. Because when you force your brand into a mold that's not fitting you, trust me, your audience will know. They will see it, they will notice. And this usually happens when the fifth mistake is there, and it's that you don't have enough knowledge. 90% of the time, this is the one. The reason your marketing sucks is because you're uncertain, aka, you just lack the basics. As introverts, especially, we tend to overthink details, but maybe you are just avoiding to see the bigger issue, the big, scary questions. And it's, do you actually know who you're talking to? Because I'm not talking on the profile. Sometimes you see this like young moms, 24 plus, or dog owners in my city. No, I'm talking about the specific person with the specific problem that you're trying to talk to. Because when you're vague, you are invisible. As I often say, good marketing, it's about relatability. And sometimes, even just the wording can make a huge difference. If you lack the basics like clear positioning, nailing the core message, the strong why behind your business, it will show. And when your potential client compare your weak version to the strong competitor that actually did their homework, you just look and sound weak. And if you don't fix that first, they will keep choosing a stronger competitor, at least until you catch up and differentiate yourself. And if you suspect that this is the problem but have no idea where to find good marketing basics, I actually collected a couple of videos where I explain some basics right in this playlist. You should see it appear here somewhere, but I will also leave the link in the description. Start there, start to get those basics. Now, last but not least, the sixth mistake I've been waiting for. And it's that you're still waiting for the magical overnight success. I honestly don't blame you. We live in a world where we are bombarded by these stories, but people blew up in 3 weeks. It's all lies. I mean, or at least it's an exception that you should not bet your life on. The quicker you accept that growing a business is actually a slow compounding journey, the quicker you actually start winning. Because when you think that results should be instant, you make significant mistakes. All your actions start revolving around that idea. So sometimes you quit too early, maybe right before the moment that momentum was gonna kick in. You stop seeing the real wins. That's a really bad one. Because you're ignoring the small, healthy ones. Because sometimes they don't even look like wins that you should celebrate, but they're actually a good sign of healthy traction. And you're only looking for that type of explosion that might never come. And then you start criticizing yourself too much and you cut your own wings. Accept the process. Fall in love with the slow growth. Once you stop chasing the unrealistic expectations, you actually start enjoying the journey. And that's the most important thing. So marketing doesn't suck because you're an introvert. It sucks because you're likely framing it as something that is not. And you're probably underestimating the basics. Stop being too proud to learn from others, but also stop being too shy to be yourself. Business is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And the only way to win it is to keep running at a pace that won't burn you out. And on this, if you're actually tired of this hustle culture and stuff and would love to find a relaxed, more chill space designed for how you actually think and work, I want to invite you to my introverted friendly community. It is just born, but we are already launching some activities. I will leave all the links. We have an accountability group for whoever likes buddy doubling. We have monthly coffee chats where we can meet and discuss business. And I plan on organizing much, much more. Actually, you are free to come in and pitch me your idea. Like the accountability group was actually proposed by another member, and I'm super glad she did because it's great. So yeah, it is a safe space for introverted people. And if you don't have Facebook, because some of you actually told me that, and it's fair, just follow my newsletter. I will put all the events at the end of my emails. So my Substack link is gonna also be in the description. Or you can also follow my Instagram. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe, whatever. This helps the channel grow and help other business owners like you. I hope this was of some help. And start with the basics. I know your business is gonna be amazing. See you in the next video.